Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin with the headlines. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to file criminal and civil defamation cases against Arvind Kejriwal and 5 other AAP leaders over DDCA corruption allegations. AAP says won't be intimidated. Juvenile rapist in Delhi gang rape case walks out of correctional home. Victim's parents lead protests in Delhi. Supreme Court to hear plea challenging release today. Nepal Deputy Prime Minister holds series of telephonic conversations with Sushma Swaraj. This as another Madheshi student is killed in fresh clashes with the police. 2 Indians among 3 killed in missile strike from strife-torn Yemen at Saudi border city of Najran. And Spain's governing Conservative Party wins more seats in general election but loses majority. PM Rajya will have to forge a coalition government. Well, the top story, a political fight is on between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP over DDCA affairs. Now, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has said that he will be slapping criminal and civil defamation cases against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and 5 other AAP leaders in Delhi courts today. Well, Jaitley has accused them of false and defamatory statements against him over alleged corruption in Delhi's cricket body, which is headed till 2013 by Arun Jaitley. Well, in a response, the AAP has said that it will be filing an FIR against Jaitley today. The party has said it will not be bogged down by any intimidations and that the finance minister must quit to ensure a clean probe. Well, the AAP has already announced a commission of inquiry to go into the alleged irregularities in the DDCA. Now, Kejriwal and 5 other AAP leaders have been publicly making allegations against the finance minister and his family members with regard to the DDCA affairs. Meanwhile, the Congress has also joined in the fight, seeking Jaitley's resignation and a joint parliamentary probe into the DDCA affairs. Well, former cricketer and BJP MP Kirti Azad went ahead with his press conference against the DDCA on Sunday, despite being dissuaded by his party to do so. Though he refrained from taking Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's name, he levelled serious charges of corruption in DDCA during Jaitley's tenure. Now, following his accusations, the AAP government in Delhi ordered an inquiry. Despite being warned by his party, BJP MP Kirti Azad went ahead with his presser as announced on Sunday against what he alleges is the massive corruption at the Delhi District Cricket Association. He accused the cricket body of huge financial irregularities but stopped short of naming Finance Minister Arun Jaitley.
बहुत बड़ा फैन हूं भ्रष्टाचार हटाने के लिए जो उन्होंने मुहिम तेज की है चलाई है उसका समर्थन करते हैं और यह मामला सामने आया है वो कतई कोई व्यक्तिगत न ले.
Azad displayed a video produced by WikiLeaks for India which claimed that the DDCA had given out contracts to various fake companies. It also alleged that the DDCA hired office and other equipment at vastly inflated prices.
गवर्नेंस नॉर्म्स होते हैं कि एक तो आप टेंडर फ्लोट करते हैं और टेंडर फ्लोट करने के बाद जो L1 होता है उसको काम दिया जाता है. आप वो काम करने में सामर्थ्य हैं या नहीं और करने के बाद नेगोशिएशंस होकर के काम दिए जाते हैं. लेकिन ये जो कंपनियां मैंने आपको बताई और बहुत सारी हैं, उसकी लिस्ट में आपको प्रेस रिलीज अभी दूंगा, 15 पेज की मेरे पास में है, दूसरी कंपनीज, उनको करोड़ों रुपया दे दिया जाता है और नेचर ऑफ वर्क नहीं बताया जाता है.
Azad also raised a demand for the case to be probed by the Enforcement Directorate. Minutes after his revelations, the Delhi government ordered an inquiry into the alleged financial bunglings of the state cricket body.
जो हम कहते रहे हैं कि डीडीसी के घोटाले की जांच के लिए दिल्ली सरकार जब प्रतिबद्ध हुई है, पहली सरकार है देश की, पहली ये स्थिति है, पहले व्यक्ति हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जिन्होंने हिम्मत की कि इस घोटाले को उजागर करके रखेंगे. और मुख्यमंत्री के कार्यालय के अंदर जो सीबीआई की रेड हुई उसमें जो कागज लिए गए और उनसे जो पूछताछ चल रही है वो सब भी डीडीसीए को लेकर चल रही है.
The BJP, however, rubbished the allegations and stood firmly behind the finance minister.
We completely reject the allegations leveled against him. It is a life of great transparency for the last more than 40 years in whatever assignments he has undertaken in his public life. We only feel that political differences and prejudice ought not to have any place in a campaign like this.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, who headed the DDCA for 13 years till 2013, has been accused of corruption by the ruling AAP in Delhi, with Chief Minister Kejriwal demanding his resignation pending inquiry. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. On to some Parliament news now. Well, after the truce struck at the all-party meet convened by Rajya Sabha Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari, the Modi government is hopeful that a substantial portion of the pending legislative business will be completed in the remaining days of the winter session. Parliamentary Affairs Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu said that they had received positive signals from the Congress that they will extend support for the passage of some important bills. The parties have agreed on allowing the House to function smoothly and pass 6 bills, which include the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Amendment Bill, Appropriation Bills, Anti-Hijacking Bill, Atomic Energy Amendment Bill, Commercial Courts Ordinance and the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill. But the GST bill still remains a contentious issue. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley had appealed to the opposition to pass this constitution bill this session, but to no avail. Only one bill has been passed in the upper house so far, with the session being a near washout. 18 bills are still pending.
सभा भी चलेगा, कुछ संकेत भी मिला, कुछ बिल्स को पास करने के लिए कांग्रेस ने भी कहा हम लोग भी पास करेंगे। देखेंगे, हम आशा करते हैं जीएसटी बिल और रियल एस्टेट बिल और अन्य महत्वपूर्ण विधेयकों को भी वो समर्थन दिए तो अच्छा होगा और देश का भला होगा। ये मेरा अनुरोध है विपक्ष से, मुख्य रूप में कांग्रेस से, आप लोग कृपया ये बिल्स आपका है, इसको आप लोग समर्थन करिए और 3 दिन में सब कुछ कर सकते, पहले भी किया हम लोगों ने।
Well, on to some other news. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday told top policemen of the country that every police station should appoint a yoga teacher and police should brand themselves by promoting their work on Twitter and television. He asked the policemen to flood the social media with a digital version of their work. Now, giving the concluding speech at the 3-day DGP's conference in the run of Kutch in Gujarat, Modi emphasized on the importance of police sensitivity, saying that a flexible institutional framework should be built which can help imbibe sensitivity towards citizens in the police force. Now, the Prime Minister told nearly 100 top police officers of the country that local communities must be taken into confidence in policing and technology should be used in tracking crimes. Modi also advised top cops that police forces should have a panel of experts who could participate in debates on television channels and put across their side of the story. News from the national capital now, and the Supreme Court will today hear a petition challenging the release of the juvenile who was one of the 6 men convicted of the 2012 Delhi gang rape case. The top court refused the dramatic post-midnight move of the DCW to stay his release by giving an urgent hearing. And the juvenile convict was on Sunday released after completion of 3 years of imprisonment and sent to an NGO. The victims' parents, meanwhile, were taken into custody after leading protests at Rajpath and India Gate. The Supreme Court will hear today the plea of Delhi Commission for Women against the release of the juvenile convict in the 16th of December Delhi gang rape case. Late last night at 2 a.m., a vacation bench in their order declined to give an urgent hearing to the DCW on its petition seeking a stay on his release and posted the matter for hearing today. On Sunday, the juvenile convict was released and sent to an NGO at an undisclosed destination. Earlier, the Delhi High Court had also declined to stay his release.
हम चाह रहे हैं कि कमेटी सेटअप हो और कमेटी उनको जांचे, कन्विक्ट को जांचे और बाद में वो कमेटी कोर्ट को एक रिपोर्ट सबमिट करे कि हाँ वो सोसाइटी में जाने के बाद वापस ऐसा कोई अपराध ना करे।
जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट सेक्शन 15 पार्ट 1 साफ साफ कहता है किसी भी हालत में जुवेनाइल की सजा 3 साल से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकती, भले ही उसने मर्डर किया हो, रेप किया हो। आज दिल्ली कमीशन की हेड अगर जा रही है सुप्रीम कोर्ट, तो मुझे हैरानी है कि वो उस कुर्सी पे बैठी कैसे है, उनको कानून का कोई नॉलेज नहीं है।
अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आदेश दे दिया कि नहीं उसे रखा जाए तो उसे वापस ले लिया जा सकता है। जो शिक्षा उसको जुवेनाइल जस्टिस की हैसियत से बड़ी मामूली सी शिक्षा दी गई है वो बिल्कुल न्याय नहीं लगता, लेकिन मजबूरी है क्योंकि हमारे देश का कानून ऐसा है।
DCW step, of course, it was too late, and secondly, as even the court had also said that nothing can be done about it, and criminal law it cannot be done retrospectively. So even if the law is amended, unfortunately, this boy is released now.
Earlier on Sunday, the Delhi gang rape victims' parents were detained as they were protesting against the release of the juvenile convicted for her gang rape and murder. The police had declared Section 144 at India Gate, but protesters gathered at nearby Rajpath. Several NSUI and ABVP members protesting at Rajpath were also removed by the police.
कि जो भी फैसला आया है हमारे हक में तो नहीं है, लेकिन ये समाज के में जो इसका संदेश जाएगा बहुत गलत असर पड़ेगा और गलत असर हो रहा है.
The juvenile was under 18 years of age when he was held with 5 other men for the brutal rape and murder of the paramedical student on 16th of December 2012. He was tried under the Juvenile Justice Act and was put in a remand home for 3 years, the maximum permissible under the legal provisions. But his part in the crime had triggered a nationwide debate on treating juveniles as adults in cases of heinous crimes. A bill to this effect has been passed by Lok Sabha but still pending in the upper house of parliament.
I think the government is actively engaged, to bringing down this age. The juvenile homes that we have are not working very efficiently.
Of the 6 convicts in the Delhi gang rape case, one was found dead in Tihar jail. A trial court had awarded death penalty to the 4 other rapists, which was upheld by the High Court. Their appeals are pending before the Supreme Court. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the chief of the Delhi Commission for Women, Swati Maliwal, whose plea will be heard by the Supreme Court at 10:30 in the morning, spoke a short while ago. Let's take a listen.
Today, on the behalf of the entire Nirbhayas in this country, I am going to the Supreme Court with a lot of hope. I very strongly feel that the Supreme Court will give a decision through which this particular rapist will not be able to walk free until at least his mental condition and proper steps for his reformation are taken. And I am extremely hopeful that the Supreme Court of this country will actually do something today which the parliamentarians for the past 3 years have been unable to do.
Well, that is one story that we'll be tracking through the day as the Supreme Court will hear that plea today. Well, on to some other news. And the Janata Dal United has pushed for a nationwide anti-BJP alliance. Well, at the party's national executive held in Delhi, party seniors resolved to engage with other parties to explore the possibility of cobbling together an anti-BJP grand alliance at the centre. The meeting was attended by Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and Party Chief Sharad Yadav, among others. Upbeat after its grand success in Bihar, the party batted for similar formations in 5 states going to polls next year, especially Assam. It also pitched for a nationwide alliance of like-minded parties to take on the BJP-led NDA. Although the projection for a coalition was made, the party stopped short of projecting Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar as the leader of such an outfit. Well, apart from Assam, assembly polls will be held in West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry next year. Well, 2 Indians were killed, in fact, 3 people killed when a missile fired from a strife-torn Yemen struck Saudi Arabia's southwestern border city of Najran. Well, this is the 3rd such incident this year involving Indian nationals. 2 Indian expatriates, along with the Saudi citizen, were killed on Sunday by a missile fired across the borders with Yemen. There was no immediate comment from the Indian embassy on the death of 2 Indians. In September, remember, an Indian was killed and 3 others were injured in mortar attacks in Saudi's Zajan region by rebels in Yemen who are known as Houthis. Well, just before the Zajan incident, another Indian was killed and 2 others were injured in the same region. Indians are the largest group of expats in the Gulf Kingdom, and hundreds of them live in Jazan and Najran, the region bordering strife-torn Yemen. And Breakfast News will take a very short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Breakfast News.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. Now news from across the border. And Nepal Deputy Prime Minister Kamal Thapa held a series of telephonic conversations with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Sunday from London. There is no official information, the details of the conversation that the two had. Well, on a return from London after his 5-day trip, Thapa expressed optimism about an early resolution of the political crisis in Nepal. Thapa will be heading to China on an official visit this week, during which he is set to discuss the import of fuel. Well, this comes as the country's key trade points with India have been blocked by Madheshi protesters for 4 months. Meanwhile, Nepal's main opposition party, the Nepali Congress, and the agitating Madheshis have agreed to quickly resolve the current political crisis. But violence continues to mar talks as Madheshi student was killed in police firing on Sunday. Madheshis had announced a fresh round of 11-day protests. Meanwhile, back home, most parts in North India continue to reel under cold wave conditions coupled with fog. In Delhi, the maximum temperature was recorded at 20 degrees, while the minimum temperature dropped to 5 degrees. In Rajasthan, cold wave conditions revived with the state's Sol hill station, Mount Abu, shivering below the freezing point. The mercury plummeted by 1 to 4 degrees Celsius at many places in the state, with northwesterly winds adding to the chill in Rajasthan. In Haryana, the Narnaul district recorded the coldest place in the plains at 2 degrees Celsius as cold wave conditions continued unabated in the state and also in neighbouring Punjab. However, there has been some respite from cold conditions in Jammu and Kashmir as the minimum temperature rose by several degrees across the valley.
ठंड की दिक्कत से आम जनजीवन काफ़ी प्रभावित हुआ है। शहर में जैसे जैसे ठंड बढ़ रही है वैसे वैसे पर्यटकों का आगमन शहर की ओर कम हो गया है।
सर ठंड इतनी है कि हाथ पांव सुकड़ रहे हैं, पानी इतना ठंडा है कि यहाँ पर सारा पानी जमा हुआ है, जितना भी यहाँ पर देखिए नालों में पानी जमा हुआ है। यहाँ पर ठंड में वैसे भर रहे हैं। ये तो हमारी चाचा चौक है, यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं, यहाँ पर हम चाय वगैरह पीकर
मजा आ रहा है यहाँ आके, क्योंकि दिल्ली में तो इतनी ठंड है नहीं, तो फ्रेंड्स के साथ हम अपना लगे हुए हैं, बस ये है पैक करके रखना पड़ता है अपने को।
And now let's take a look at the events lined up for the day in the day ahead. A special court will be hearing a coal block allocation case in which the Supreme Court had stayed the summons issued against former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, industrialist Kumar Mangalam Birla and others. The special court had on 16th of December last year refused to accept the CBI's closure report in the case and had directed the agency to further probe the matter and examine Manmohan Singh, who was also holding a coal portfolio at that time. Final arguments in the 2G scam-related money laundering case in which former Telecom Minister A. Rajya, DMK MP Kanimori and 17 others are facing trial will resume in a special court today. Special CBI Judge O.P. Seni, who was scheduled to hear the final arguments on 14th of December, had deferred it as the court was busy in hearing another case moved by the CBI in which Rajya, Kanimori and 15 others are accused. Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi, along with other election commissioners, are likely to visit Assam today to review the ongoing electoral roll revision and the preparations for the assembly elections, which are scheduled to be held in March to April next year. During the visit, they will take stock of the electoral rolls preparation and also hold review meetings with various stakeholders before initiating measures for the state's assembly elections. Well, on to some international news. An airstrikes believed to have been carried out by the Russian warplanes killed scores of people in the center of the rebel-held city of Idlib in the northwest Syria on Sunday. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said that most of those who were killed were fighters in the army of conquest rebel group fighting forces loyal to President Bashar al-Assad. But rescue workers reported that 6 strikes had hit a busy marketplace in the city. More than 150 people were injured in the attacks, with some of the wounded transported to hospitals across the border into Turkey. Remember, Russia began an air campaign to bolster President Bashar al-Assad in the month of September. News coming in from China, where at least 59 people are missing after hundreds of tons of mud from a crumbling mountain engulfed 33 buildings and triggered an explosion at a gas station in an industrial park in Shenzhen region. About 900 people have been evacuated from China's biggest manufacturing hub. In what is being regarded as one of China's worst urban disasters, 14 people were pulled out from the mountain of mud that swarmed the vast region of the new industrial estate. More than 1,500 people, including firemen, police and health workers, are involved in the rescue operations at the moment. However, rescue ops have been hampered by rain, also low nighttime visibility and large amount of mud as well. But the cause of the landslide is unclear at the moment and a probe has been ordered.
截止20日晚上22点，失联人员59人，其中男性36人，女性23人，已安全疏散群众900多人。 全部得到妥善安置。目前，现场救出被困人员7人，全部送院治疗，均无生命危险。
And now news from Spain, where the country has entered into a new political era after general elections on Sunday signaled the end of a two-party system in the country. Well, Spain's ruling conservatives secured the maximum votes, but they are still falling short of an absolute majority. Now, PM Rajya will have the first shot at forming a coalition government. However, that won't be an easy task with no clear coalition partner at the moment.
Spain's political system looks set to change. The general election produced a deeply fragmented mandate with little chance of a stable majority government over the next 4 years. Despite securing the most seats in the general elections, Spain's governing Conservative Popular Party has lost its majority. Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy's party needed 176 seats to form a majority, but managed only 123 seats. The Socialists took 90 seats and, riding high on their anti-austerity campaign, Podemos party won 69 seats. The Liberals were in the 4th place with 40 seats. But Prime Minister Rajoy is still confident that his party is the #1 force in Spain.
Pero en coherencia con lo que siempre hemos defendido a lo largo de la campaña, y hoy vuelvo a trasladar al conjunto de españoles, es que corresponde a la primera fuerza política intentar formar gobierno.
The PP and the Socialists have alternatively run the government for more than 3 decades. Boosted by discontent among the electorate with Rajoy's administration, the two dynamic new parties will now take on the country's long-established giants.
Today is an historical day for Spain. We are very happy for the fact that in Spain the two-party system is ended, and we are happy because we are starting a new political era in our country.
Con un solo proyecto, sin plataformas, sin círculos, sin coaliciones con separatistas, no a cualquier precio, con un partido, con un proyecto común para España, va a poder dirigir sin duda el rumbo del futuro también de este país. Vamos a ser decisivos para formar, sin duda, unas mayorías que puedan cambiar este país. Vamos a empezar.
Spain's economy and corruption allegations were dominant issues in the election. Rajoy's administration adopted tough austerity measures and job reforms that, although unpopular, have been credited with returning the Spanish economy to growth. Spain is now set for a difficult period of coalition building. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And some more international news now in World Wrap. An Air France flight bound for Mauritius was forced to make an emergency landing at Kenya's Mombasa city after a suspicious device was found in the restroom. Kenyan authorities are investigating the nature of the suspected device. but it was found to contain no explosives. Now 4 people on board on the plane have been taken in for questioning. The Yemen peace talks in Switzerland have broken up without an agreement, but with the hopes that the process will continue towards ending the conflict. The UN Special Envoy said that the talks will resume on 14th of January next year at an as yet undecided location. Little progress had been made at this round with violations of a temporary ceasefire. For now, a de-escalation committee has been created in which military leaders from both the sides will take part. The center of another Afghanistan district has fallen in the hands of the Taliban. The militants are reported to have taken over the center of Helmand district. At least 90 soldiers had been killed in the latest fighting as the militants captured the police headquarters in Sangin. Fighting continues in other parts as well. Let's now get you all the sporting action in Sports Beat. The Indian Super League second season came to a stunning finale with the Chennaiyin FC beating FC Goa in the edge of the seat game. All 5 goals of the game came in the second half, keeping spectators guessing till the end. Chennaiyin FC scored 3-2 to lift the cup. Lionel Messi fired FC Barcelona to their 3rd FIFA Cup World Cup title on Sunday, beating South American champions River Plate 3-0 in the final. A lethal Luis Suarez double destroyed River's hopes. Back after a bout of kidney stones, the mercurial Argentine sealed the title with a clinical finish in the 36th minute. The Singapore Slammers delighted their home crowd as they beat the Indonesians 26-21 to take the International Premier Tennis League title on Sunday. Stan Wawrinka won the final 2 sets to clinch the title. Wawrinka put the Slammers in front after overcoming Australian Bernard Tomic 6-3. He then teamed up with Brazilian Marcelo Melo to defeat Bobana and Ivan Dojic of Croatia 6-3 to clinch the title. Well, that's all in this edition of Breakfast News, but news and updates continue on your channel. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.